Dear students, welcome to Tungal online classes. Let us continue with the numerical problems on electric charges and fields. Look at question number 9. They have given find the point on the line joining two charges plus 12 nanocoulomb and plus 3 nanocoulomb where resultant field is 0. And they have also given distance between the charges is 1.2 meters. Okay, so this is regularly asked question. Let us try to solve this. What they have given? We are given with two charges. One charge is plus 12 nanocoulomb. So this I call it as a charge QA. QA is equal to what? Plus 12 nanocoulomb, which is placed at A here. And let me take another charge, that is plus 3 nanocoulomb. Let me place it at point B. So this I call it as a charge QB. Okay, and they have given the distance between these two charges. How much is the distance? The distance is given to be 1.2 meters. Okay, and we have to find the position between these two charges at which the resultant electric field because of this charge QA and charge QB is equal to 0. Okay, I don't know where that point is. So let me assume that point is P. Okay, and let that point P be at the distance of x, and this x I have to find out. Okay, if this distance is x, the distance between this P and B will be how much? So that is equal to 1.2 minus of x, because the total distance between A and B is 1.2. So this is x meters. So the remaining distance will be what? That is 1.2 minus of x meters. Okay, so at point P there will be electric field because of charge QA and there will be electric field because of charge QB, and they have mentioned that the net electric field because of these two charges is equal to 0. Okay, let us consider the point P here. Wherever I am calculating electric field, at that point I will assume a unit positive charge of plus 1 coulomb. Okay, so that is how I find out electric field. At point P I have unit positive charge of 1 coulomb. Okay, so consider the source charge QA here. So this is my source charge and this is my test charge here. Okay, look at this. So this is also positively charged. This test charge is always positive, and we know there will be repulsive force between these two charges since both are like charges. So because of this repulsive force, the test charge that will move away from the source charge, is it not? This is also plus here, this is also plus, both will be moving away from each other. And if I say the electric field because of charge A, if I write it as EA, so this is electric field at point P because of charge QA. So that electric field will be along a positive x direction, that is along P to B. Both are moving away from each other, and the direction of this electric field that I will take it as the direction in which the test charge moves because of the source charge. Now because of the source charge QA, the test charge is moving along positive x direction, that is along P to O, and that is the direction of electric field EA. Okay, similarly because of this charge QB, look at this, charge QB is plus 3 nanocoulomb, that is also positively charged, and this test charge is also positive. So between these two charges also there will be repulsive force. But look at the direction in which the test charge moves because of the source charge B here. See here, these two charges will be moving away from each other like this. So because of charge QB, the test charge will be moving along a negative x direction, because your source charge is towards right side. So there will be repulsive force acting like this. The test charge will experience the force along a negative x direction. So that direction I will take it as the direction of electric field because of charge B. Okay, we can clearly observe here both the electric fields are in opposite direction, then only we can get the net resultant electric field is equal to 0. Okay, so now they have given the resultant electric field is equal to 0. If I take the direction of electric field as positive, right, so EA if I take it as positive, EB I must take it as negative here. I can write EA minus of EB is equal to what? 0. This is the data they have given. Okay, or simply I can write it as EA is equal to what? EA is equal to, I can write it as EB here. Okay, then separately we shall write down what are the magnitudes of EA and EB. Yes. So if I write EA, what is this EA here? EA is electric field at point P because of source charge QA. I have the formula EA is equal to what? 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught magnitude of the source charge. So that is what? QA divided by what is the distance between this charge QA and point P? That I write it as AP square. Okay, so that is equal to AP square. So when I substitute the values here, EA is equal to what? 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught is 9 into 10 to the power of 9 into QA is given to be what? 12 nanocoulomb, that is 12 into 10 to the power of minus 9 whole divided by AP. I have taken it as x, so AP square I write it as x square. Yes, so let this be equation number 1 here, correct. Similarly, let us write the expression for electric field at point P because of charge at B here. So that I write it as EB is equal to what? So that is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into charge at B, that is QB, divided by what is the distance between B and P. So that I take it as BP square. Okay, and when I substitute the values, I can write it as EB is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught is how much? 9 into 10 to the power of 9 into QB is how much? They have given it as 3 nanocoulomb. I will write it as 3 into 10 to the power of minus 9 whole divided by what is the distance between B to P, that is 1.2 minus of x whole square. Let this be equation number 2. Okay, and let us substitute these equation number 1 and 2 here. So what I will get here? EA is equal to what? So that is 9 into 10 to the power of 9 into 12 into 10 to the power of minus 9 whole divided by x square. That must be equal to what? EB. EB is equal to what? 9 into 10 to the power of 9 into 3 into 10 to the power of minus 9 whole divided by 1.2 minus of x whole square. These two get cancelled here. 10 raised to minus 9 and cancel. Yes. So here I will get it as 4 here, and by simplifying this, what I can write? This I will take it to the left side. I can write it as 1.2 minus of x whole square into 4, that is equal to what? X square I will take it to the RHS. So this is what I remain with. Okay, and you can clearly observe here all terms are in the form of square. I can take square root to solve this equation. So when I take the square root, what I will get here? 1.2 minus of x into square root of 4 is 2 here, that is equal to x. I take square root of x square also, and if I simplify this, what I will get? That is 2.4 minus of 2x, that is equal to what? X. This implies 2.4 is equal to what? 3x here. So from this I can write x is equal to 0.8 meters. What is this x? So this is the position of point P from charge QA here. So at the distance of 0.8 meters, at the distance of 0.8 meters from charge QA, the resultant electric field because of both these charges is equal to 0. So that I have to write it here. The point P is at the distance of 0.8 meters. From which charge you have to write? From charge QA. Okay, and this is the solution for a given problem. Look at question number 11. They have given 3 point charges plus 5 nanocoulomb, plus 20 nanocoulomb, plus 25 nanocoulomb placed at corners A, B, C of a square ABCD of length 0.2 meter. Calculate the magnitude of electric field at intersection of the diagonals. Okay, first let us draw the square given here. Yes, so this is the square A. So let me write this as A here. So this is B, this is corner C, and this is a corner D. And let us place the charges as they are given. So at A I have a QA is equal to what? QA is equal to, it is a plus 5 nanocoulomb here. At B I have QB is equal to plus 20 nanocoulomb, and at C I have charge of QC which is equal to plus of 25 nanocoulomb. In this example they have given only charges at 3 corners. They may also give charge at the fourth corner also. Okay, and they have asked us to find out what is the resultant electric field at the intersection of the diagonals, that is midpoint of the square. So let me call this as O here. Okay, I have to find out what is the resultant electric field at point O because of these charges QA, QB and QC. Okay, and as usual we shall consider a unit positive charge of +1 coulomb here. Okay, and let us mark the direction of electric fields because of charge A, charge B and charge C. Okay, and we can clearly observe here charge A, it is positive charge. So the electric field at O because of this charge A, it will be away from the source charge, because the test charge is always positive, source charge is also positive here, both will move away from each other. The direction of electric field is the direction in which the test charge moves. So in this example, the test charge Q moves away from the source charge along O to C. So that let me call it as E1. The electric field because of charge A, let me take it as E1 here. Okay. Similarly, consider the electric field at O because of charge B here. You can observe charge B is also positive. Test charge is always positive here. So there will be repulsive force like this. The test charge moves away from the source charge. Both are positive charges. So the test charge Q, it will move along the line OD. So this is the direction of electric field E2. E2 is what? It is the electric field at point O because of source charge QB here. Both are like charges. There will be repulsive force. And the direction of electric field E2, it is the direction in which the test charge moves because of the source charge. Similarly, if I consider the third source charge, that is QC is equal to what? Plus 25 nanocoulomb. That is also positive charge. So because of this positive charge, the test charge Q, that will move away from the source charge. So this is my source charge here. So there will be repulsive force acting like this. The test charge will be repelled by the QC here. So this is the direction of electric field E3. E3 is what? It is the electric field at O because of charge C. So these are the directions of electric fields E1, E2 and E3. Okay. So now I have to find out the resultant of all these electric fields. And for that, first I should calculate what are the magnitudes of these electric fields E1, E2 and E3. Separately we shall find out the values of E1, E2 and E3 here. Okay. First let me calculate E1. E1 is electric field at O because of charge QA. That you can also write it as EA as per your convenience. Now I am writing it as simply E1 here. Okay. E1 is equal to what? 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught. What is your source charge? That is QA. Okay. Divided by what is the distance between source charge and point of consideration? That is A to O here. So that I write it as AO square, and we shall calculate what are these distances here. Okay. And the distance, the side length is given how much? So that is 0.2 meters. So this square length, all these sides are equal to 0.2 meters. But for calculation of E1, E2 and E3, I should know the values of AO, BO and CO. So that we shall first calculate. So by using Pythagoras theorem, I can write AC square is equal to what? AB square plus of BC square. So that I can write it like this. AC square is equal to AB square plus of BC square. So that is equal to 0.2 square plus of 0.2 square here. So AC square. So that comes out to be what? 0.08. This is AC square. By calculating this, I can get AC is equal to 0.28 meters. Okay. But I want A to O. Okay. So O is the midpoint of AC. So AO will be equal to what? Half of this AC here. So I can write AO is equal to AC divided by 2. So that is equal to 0.14 meter. Similar problem we have solved yesterday in the case of electric forces. And I can simply write AO is equal to BO is equal to CO is equal to what? 0.14 meter. While calculating E1, E2 and E3, directly I can substitute these values of AO, BO, CO equal to 0.14 meter. Okay. So here let me substitute the values here. 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught is equal to what? 9 into 10 to the power of 9 into QA is equal to what? 5 into 10 to the power of minus 9 whole divided by AO square. AO square is equal to what? 0.14 square. So this will give me the magnitude of electric field at point O because of charge A. Okay, and after solving this, I will get this as this is equal to 2296 newtons per coulomb. By simplifying this, by substituting the numerical values, I get the magnitude of electric field E1 is equal to what? 2296 Newton per coulomb. Okay. Similarly, we shall calculate the magnitude of electric field E2. Okay. Electric field E2, it is the electric field at point O because of charge B. So for this, I will take charge B as the source charge. Okay, and the distance I have to take it as B to O. Okay, so that I will write it as 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught QB divided by what is the distance? That is BO square. Okay, so that is equal to what? 9 into 10 to the power of 9 into what is the magnitude of QB charge? That is 20 nanocoulomb. 20 into 10 to the power of minus 9 whole divided by what is the distance? That is again equal to 0.14 square. Okay, look at these two cases here. All values are same except here I have 5. Here I have 20 here. So this charge is 4 times this first charge. So your answer will be 4 times of this. So by solving this, I will get this as 9183.6 newtons per coulomb. Okay. So this is the magnitude of electric field intensity E2. Okay. Similarly, let me calculate the value of E3 here. E3 is equal to what? So this is the electric field at O because of source charge QC. So that I write it as E3 is equal to 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught. What is your source charge here? That I write it as QC divided by what is the distance between these 2 points? That I take it as CO square. Okay. Let me substitute the values here. That is 9 into 10 to the power of 9 into QC is equal to what? 25 into 10 to the power of minus 9 whole divided by what is the distance here? That is CO. CO is again equal to what? 0.14 square. Okay. So when I simplify this, I will get this value as 11,479.6 newtons per coulomb. You can calculate and verify this. Okay. So these are the magnitudes of E1, E2 and E3 here. Okay. So now I should simplify all these and get the resultant value of electric field. Okay. You can clearly observe here E1 is acting along O to C and E3 is acting along O to A. Okay. Are they not in opposite directions here? Okay. So first what I will do, I will resolve these two vectors E1 and E3. So I will combine them, I will make it as one electric field. Okay. So that what I will write here. What is the value of E1? E1 is equal to what? 2296 Newton per coulomb. E3 is equal to what? 11,479.6. So this E3 is greater than E1. So the resultant of these two vectors will be equal to what? So that is equal to E3 minus of E1 because they are acting exactly in opposite directions. So I will combine this electric field E1 and E3. I can write it as E13. I will write it as. Okay. So the resultant of E1 and E3, I am taking the resultant of E1 and E3, so that I write it as E13. E13 is what? That is the resultant of vectors E1 and E3, so that is equal to what? So that is E3 minus of E1. I am subtracting the smaller value from a larger value here, so that is equal to what? 11,479.6 minus of 2296, and when I calculate this, I will get this as E13 is equal to what? E13 is equal to 9183.6 newtons per coulomb. Okay. So what I have done, I have reduced these two vectors as one vector, so that I write it as E13, and that will be acting in the same direction of E3 because E3 is a larger one. So E13 will also be acting in the same direction here. Okay. So E13 is acting along O to A. Okay. So when I write E13, I have to neglect E1 and E3. I should not consider E1 and E3 here. So now I have converted the system of 3 vectors into system of only 2 vectors. Okay. See here, the same thing I will redraw it again here. So this is the square, yes, this is corner A, corner B, corner C, and this is corner D, and this is the intersection of the diagonals. So at this point, so here I have as usual I have the vector E2 here. So here I have combined E1 and E3. So this I write it as a E13 here. Okay, and E2 is equal to what? E2 is equal to 9183.6. So let me write it here. E2 is equal to 9183.6 Newton, and E13 is equal to what? E13 is equal to, that is also equal to what? 9183.6 Newtons. Now I have two vectors E2 and E13, and what is the angle between these two vectors? You can clearly observe, since it is square, this angle is what? 90 degrees. Okay, so now I am remaining with the two vectors E2 and E13, which are having magnitudes of 9183.6 Newtons. This is electric field in Newtons per Coulomb. Okay, so I have to find out the resultant of these two electric fields. Okay, and the angle between these two vectors is equal to what? 90 degrees. Yes, let me simplify this. So the net resultant electric field, I have the formula E resultant is equal to what? That is square root of E2 square plus of E2 square plus of E13 square plus of 2 times of E2 into E13 into cos of angle between those two vectors. This is the general formula to find the resultant of two vectors. Okay, when I substitute the values here, ER is equal to what? ER is equal to square root of E2 square. E2 square is equal to what? 9183.6 square plus of E13 is equal to what? That is also equal to 9183.6 square. Okay, plus of 2 into 9183.6 into 9183.6 into cos 90 I will get here. Cos 90 is equal to 0. So this whole term becomes equal to 0 here. Okay, so this becomes equal to 0. So I will remain with ER is equal to square root of 2 times of 9183.6 square, and when I solve this, I will get the value of resultant electric field is equal to 12,987.6 Newtons per Coulomb. Okay, so this is the magnitude of resultant electric field at the intersection of O. Okay, and what is the direction of this electric field? You can clearly observe here, E2 and E13 both are equal to each other. So your resultant electric field will be exactly bisecting the angle between these two vectors. So this will be at angle of 45 degrees to E2 as well as 45 degrees to E13. So this is the direction of resultant electric field, which is equal to 12,987.6 Newton per Coulomb. Okay, I hope the problem is clear. Look at question number 10. It is given that ABC is an equilateral triangle of side 0.1 meter. Charges of 4 nanocoulomb and minus 4 nanocoulomb are placed at corners A and B respectively, and we are asked to find out the resultant electric field at the third corner C. Okay, first let us draw the equilateral triangle given. Yes, and let me write this as corner A, this is corner B, and let this be corner C. And at corner A we have the charge of QA is equal to what? That is plus 4 nanocoulomb, and at B we have charge QB, that is equal to what? Minus of 4 nanocoulomb, and we have to find out the resultant electric field at C because of these two charges. And as usual, at any point we are calculating the electric field, there we will assume a unit positive charge of 1 coulomb here. Okay, this is always positive charge. Okay, then let us mark the directions of electric field at point C because of these two source charges QA and QB. Okay, so here I will consider QA as the source charge and Q is a test charge. Okay, so this is corner C here. look at this charge QA, this is positively charged and this test charge is always positive. So since both are like charges, there will be repulsive force between these two charges, and because of this repulsive force, the this test charge experiences the force away from the source charge. So this will be moving away from the source charge. So this is the direction of motion of this test charge Q. Okay, so that I will take it as the direction of electric field because of source charge QA. Okay, so this test charge will be moving away from the source charge, and the direction of electric field at C because of this source charge is the direction in which the test charge moves because of this source charge. Okay, similarly, if I consider the source charge QB here, QB is negatively charged. So this negatively charged source charge, so this will attract the test charge towards it. Okay, so the test charge will move towards the charge QB, and this I will take it as the direction of electric field at point C because of source charge QB. Okay, so at point C I have two electric fields. One is electric field EA, another is electric field EB because of charges QA and QB respectively. Okay, so now I have to find out the resultant of these two electric fields, and for that I should calculate what is the magnitude of electric field EA and what is the magnitude of electric field EB. Yes, so that we shall separately calculate here. So EA is what? EA I will write it as 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught. What is the source charge here? That is QA divided by what is the distance between these 2 points, so that I write it as AC square, and they have given the triangle is of the side 0.1 meter. So all these sides are equal to 0.1 meter. That is AB is equal to BC is equal to CA equal to 0.1 meter. So if I substitute the values here, 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, so that is equal to 9 into 10 to the power of 9 into QA is equal to what? 4 nanocoulomb, that is equal to 4 into 10 to the power of minus 9 whole divided by AC is equal to 0.1 meter. So that I will substitute it here. So that is equal to 0.1 square. Okay. So if I substitute this here, so these two get cancelled here, I will get 36 divided by 0.01. So that will give me 3600 newtons per coulomb. So I have electric field EA is equal to what? 3600 Newton per coulomb. Okay. Similarly, let me calculate the value of EB. So EB is equal to what? 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. What is your source charge? That is QB. Okay. QB divided by what is the distance between these 2 points? That is nothing but BC square. So if I substitute the values, what I will get here? 9 into 10 to the power of 9 into what is the magnitude of the source charge here? That is 4 nanocoulomb they have given. That I write it as 4 into 10 to the power of minus 9 whole divided by what is the distance it is? That is 0.1 square. Here you can observe I am not writing minus sign because that negative sign already I have considered while marking the direction of this electric field EB. Okay. So all these values are same. So this also I will get it as 3600 newtons per coulomb. Okay. Then I have to get resultant of these two vectors. And what is the angle between these two vectors here? Since it is equilateral triangle, so this angle is equal to what? 60 degrees. Okay. And this angle must be equal to what? 120 degrees. So these two electric fields are acting at angle of 120 degrees. So I have the resultant formula, that is equal to what? ER is equal to square root of EA square plus of EB square plus of 2 times of EA into EB into cos of theta, where theta is angle between the vectors EA and EB. Okay, and it is clear that EA is equal to what? EB. Okay, because both values are same, so which is equal to what? 3600 newtons per coulomb. So just replace this EB by EA. So what I will get here? ER is equal to what? ER is equal to square root of, I can write it as EA square plus of EA square, because EA is equal to EB. Okay, so plus of, here also I will get 2 times of EA square, EA into EB, I will get it as EA square into cos of theta. Okay, so cos theta is equal to cos of, I will get it as 120 degrees. Okay, so cos 120 degree, so this will be in the second quadrant here. So this cos 120 degree, I can write it as cos of 180 degree minus of 60 degree. So that remains as a cos, but it is in a second quadrant. In second quadrant cos is minus, so this is equal to minus of 1 by 2. So substitute cos 120 degree is equal to minus of 1 by 2 in this equation. I'll get it as ER is equal to square root of 2 times of EA square, okay, plus of 2 into EA square into minus of 1 by 2, okay. If I substitute, if I simplify this, what I will get here, 2 to get cancelled here, this I will get it as 2 times of EA square minus of EA square. So ER is equal to, the resultant electric field is equal to what? Square root of EA square. So that is equal to what? EA. So this implies that the resultant electric field is equal to what? Electric field A. So that is equal to what? 3600 newtons per coulomb. So the resultant electric field magnitude is also equal to what? 3600 newtons per coulomb. Okay, so this is the magnitude of resultant electric field. And what is the direction of this resultant electric field? You can observe EA is equal to EB, hence your resultant electric field will be bisecting this 120 degree angle. So this will be along, this will be parallel to the x-axis. Okay, so this is equal to what? 3600 newtons per coulomb. Okay, and this is the solution for a given problem. Let us look at question number 12. It is given that a pendulum bob of mass 80 into 10 to the power of minus 6 kg carries a charge of 16 into 10 to the power of minus 9 coulomb. It is at rest in a horizontal electric field of 10,000 Newton per coulomb. We have to find the tension in the thread of the pendulum and angle made by the thread of the pendulum with the vertical. Okay, so first we shall draw the figure here. We have a pendulum suspended like this, right? So we have a pendulum bob which is placed in a uniform electric field. Yes, let us consider this electric field is along a positive x direction. The charge of this pendulum bob is how much? Q is equal to 16 into 10 to the power of minus 9 coulomb. Okay, and it is having mass of the pendulum is equal to what? That is 80 into 10 to the power of minus 6 kilograms. Yes, and they have told this pendulum is in rest in this electric field. Okay, since this pendulum is positively charged, there will be force acting on this pendulum bob along the direction of electric field. So electric field, we are taking it along a positive x direction. So the force acting on this pendulum is also along a positive x direction. So that electrostatic force exerted on the pendulum by the electric field, let us call this as a Fe. Okay, and this electrostatic force will be along a positive x direction in the direction of electric field. Yes, then we will have mass of the pendulum, and because of the mass there will be weight of the pendulum which is equal to m into g. Okay, and there will be tension in the thread of the pendulum. That tension, let us call this as a capital T here. Okay, now they have told this pendulum is in the state of rest. Okay, so let us resolve this. What we shall do here? So this is at some inclination. This thread is making an angle with respect to vertical line. So let us draw the vertical here. So this is the vertical and this is the horizontal line. Okay, let us consider the angle made by this thread of the pendulum with respect to vertical. Let it be theta. Okay, we don't know that angle theta, we have to find it. We can resolve this tension in the thread into two components here. One is vertical component, another is a horizontal component. Since angle between these two is theta, so this component will be equal to what? This is a t cos theta. This becomes, this is adjacent side, so this component of the tension will be what? That is a t cos theta, and the horizontal component here, that will be equal to what? T into sin theta. Okay, so I have resolved this tension into vertical and horizontal components. Since this pendulum is in the state of rest, the sum of the horizontal forces must be equal to 0 and the sum of vertical forces must be equal to 0. Okay, let us consider what are the horizontal forces acting on the pendulum. We have two forces here. One is the electrostatic force exerted on the pendulum by the electric field, which is given by charge of the pendulum into magnitude of the electric field. And let us write down the data given. So the mass of the pendulum is equal to what? M is equal to AT into 10 to the power of minus 6 kilograms. Okay. Then they have given charge of the pendulum. So let me call this as a Q. Q is equal to what? 16 into 10 to the power of minus 9 coulomb. And the magnitude of the electric field in which the pendulum is placed. So that is equal to what? That is 10,000 Newton per coulomb. Okay. I have to find the magnitude of the tension and what is the angle made by the thread of the pendulum with respect to vertical, that is theta I have to find out. Okay. When I equate horizontal forces here, see here, there are two horizontal forces. One is electrostatic force along positive x direction and T sin theta, that is along negative x direction. Since it is in the state of rest, these must be equal to each other. Okay. So what I can write here? I can write Fe, the electrostatic force must be equal to what? That is T sin theta I will write. Okay. So let this be equation number 1. Similarly, when I consider the equilibrium of vertical forces, there are two vertical forces here. One is T cos theta along positive y direction. Another is weight of the object, which is always acting in negative y direction here. So I can equate this T cos theta to the weight of the object. So I can write weight of the object, that is M into G is equal to what? That is equal to T into cos theta. Okay. Let this be equation number 2. Okay. By using these two equations, I can first find out the value of theta here. So what we shall do? Divide equation number 1 by equation number 2. What I will get here? Fe divided by Fe is equal to what? That is Q into E. Okay. So Q into E divided by M into G, that must be equal to what? T sin theta divided by T cos theta. T get cancelled here. So let me write it. T sin theta whole divided by T cos theta. So that will give you tan theta. Okay. Tan theta. So this implies what I can get here? Tan theta is equal to what? Tan theta is equal to Q into E whole divided by M into G, where Q is magnitude of the charge, E is electric field intensity, M is mass of the object, G is acceleration due to gravity. Okay. By substituting the values, I can calculate the value of tan theta. Tan theta is equal to, substitute the value of Q here, that is 16 into 10 to the power of minus 9 into electric field is how much? That is 10,000 Newton per coulomb whole divided by mass of the pendulum is given to be what? That is 80 into 10 to the power of minus 6 into G, I will take it as 9.81. Okay. If we solve this, we will get tan theta is equal to, that is 0.2038 I will get. Okay. So this is the value of tan theta. Using the log table, I can get the value of theta. Theta must be equal to what? That is tan inverse of 0.2038. This value of theta can be found out using the log table. I hope all of you have this log table here. So this is tan function. Open now, that is natural tangents, that is page number 14 and 15. Okay. And just search for the value of 0.2038. You may not have exact value there. You have somewhere near to it. That is we have 0.2035 we have. Yes. So that is 0.2035 we have. So it is close to 0.2038. Neglecting the mean difference here, we shall just take the value of 0.2035. Yes. So that is equal to, from this I can write the value of theta is equal to what? That is 11 degree and I have 30 minutes. Okay. So this is the angle theta, that is equal to 11 degree 30 minutes. Okay. So this is one part of the problem, that is angle made by the tension thread of the pendulum with respect to vertical line. Okay. So theta is equal to what? 11 degree 30 minutes. Using this theta, we can find the magnitude of tension in the thread. Okay. So either you can use equation number 1 or you can use equation number 2 and you can easily find the value of tension in the string here. Okay, so we shall use equation number 1. Yes, theta is equal to 11 degree 30 minutes. So I can use equation number 1 here. Fe is equal to what? Fe I can write it as Q into E. So using equation number 1, I can write T is equal to what? T is equal to Q into E whole divided by sine of theta here. So I can calculate the value of tension in the thread, that is T is equal to Q is what? Q is charge of the pendulum given, that is 16 into 10 to the power of minus 9 into electric field magnitude is how much? That is 10,000 Newton per coulomb whole divided by sine of theta. Just now we have found out that is 11 degree 30 minutes. Okay, again write the value of sine of 11 degree 30 minutes. Again use the log table here. I have to open natural sines. Okay, that is in page number 12 and 13. So look for 11 degree here. At the left side I have degrees. Okay, 11 degree and 30 minutes. So I will write on that value, that is 0.1994. Okay, so this is equal to 16 into 10 to the power of minus 9 into 10,000 whole divided by sine of 11 degree 30 minutes, that is 0.1994. Okay, so this is the value of tension, and by calculating I will get this tension is equal to 8 into 10 to the power of minus 4 Newton. Okay, this is the magnitude of the tension in the string. Yes, so this is the solution for a given problem. Next, let us look at question number 13. It is given that ABC is an equilateral triangle of side 0.1 meter. Charges of 4 nanocoulomb and minus 8 nanocoulomb are placed at corners A and B respectively, and we have to find the magnitude and direction of electric field at corner C. Okay, we have solved a similar problem, but there we had just found out only the magnitude of the resultant electric field. In this problem they are asking for both magnitude as well as direction of the resultant electric field. Okay, so let us first draw the triangle given. So this is the equilateral triangle. Okay, and the side length is how much? It is going to be 0.1 meter. All sides are equal to 0.1 meter, and let this be corner A, let this be corner B, and let this be corner C. Yes, at corner A I have the charge of 4 nanocoulomb, so that I read it as QA is equal to what? Plus 4 nanocoulomb, and at B I have charge of QB is equal to minus of 8 nanocoulombs here. Okay, so let me write this here, QB is equal to minus of 8 nanocoulomb. Okay, and we have to find out the resultant electric field at third corner C because of these two charges. Here let me assume the unit positive charge of plus 1 coulomb. Okay, similar to the previous problem, the direction of the electric field at point C, because of the source charge, it will be away from the source charge here, because these two are positive charges. The test charge will be moving away from the source charge. Both are positive charges here. Okay, similarly if I consider second source charge, that is QB is equal to minus of 8 nanocoulomb here. So this minus 8 nanocoulomb, this will attract the test charge towards point B. So this will be the direction of second electric field EB, and this I call it as the electric field EA. Electric field EA, it is electric field at point C because of charge A, and EB is electric field at point C because of charge B here. Okay, and I have to find out, and the angle between these two is what? So this is equal to 120 degrees. Okay, because this is equilateral triangle, here I have 60 degrees, this exterior angle is equal to what? 120 degrees. I have two electric fields EA and EB which are acting at angle of 120 degrees. I have to find out the resultant of these two vectors. Okay, so for that first we shall calculate what are the magnitudes of EA and EB. Okay, so let me write the equation for EA here. EA is equal to what? 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. Source charge is QA divided by what is the distance between these 2 points? So that is AC square I will take. So if I simplify this, I will get it as 9 into 10 to the power of 9 into QA is how much? That is 4 into 10 to the power of minus 9 whole divided by AC is given to be what? 0.1 square. Okay, so if I solve this, so this I will get it as 3600 Newton per coulomb. Okay, 9 into 4 36, these two get cancelled, this is 0.01, I get this as a 3600 Newton per Coulomb. Similarly, let me calculate the magnitude of second electric field, that is electric field EB because of charge B at point C. Okay, so let me write the equation for that. That is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, source charge is QB here, divided by what is the distance, that is DC square. Okay, so this I can substitute it as 9 into 10 to the power of 9 into QB is equal to what, 8 into 10 to the power of minus 9 whole divided by 0.1 square, and this is double of this, so this will be equal to what, 7200 newtons per coulomb. Okay, so these two are the magnitudes of electric field EA and EB respectively. Okay, the angle between these two vectors is what, 120 degrees, and let us find the resultant of these two vectors. Yes, so this I can write it as a resultant vector ER, that is equal to what, that is square root of EA square plus of EB square plus of 2 times of EA into EB into cos of theta. This is the general formula for finding a resultant of these two vectors. Okay, if I substitute it here, what I will get, that is square root of EA is how much, 3600 square. Okay, plus of EB is how much, 7200 square. Yes, plus 2 into 3600 into 7200 into cos of 120 degrees. Okay, simplify this, what you will get, so that is equal to square root of 3600 square plus of 7200 square. So this cos 120 degree is equal to minus of 1 by 2. Okay, so this I get it as 2 into 3600 into 7200 into minus of 1 by 2. So these two get cancelled here. If I simplify this, I will get it as a square root of 3600 square plus of 7200 square. This plus into minus will be minus here, minus of 3600 into 7200. Okay, if I solve for this value, I will get the resultant electric field ER is equal to, that is 6235 Newton per Coulomb. Okay, so this is the magnitude of resultant electric field at corner C. Okay, but in previous problem we had both electric field EA and EB equal to each other, but you can clearly observe here EA is 3600, EB is equal to 7200. So a resultant electric field will not be at the, it will not be bisecting the angle. So we don't know what is that angle here. Let us assume the electric field is somewhere here. So this is the direction of electric field. Okay, if it is making some angle of alpha with respect to EB, let me assume the angle between the resultant electric field ER and the electric field EB, let it be alpha here. I can find out this alpha using the angle of tan alpha, using the equation of tan alpha. Okay, erase this here. In the first year classes we have studied, if I have two vectors like this, if this is vector P and if this is vector Q here, let us say my resultant is somewhere here. If resultant is making angle of alpha, so this total angle between P and Q is theta. If the resultant R is making angle of alpha with respect to one of the vectors, let us take this as P here. So we have the relation, that is tan alpha is equal to what? So it is making angle alpha with respect to P. I have to consider Q here. So this is equal to Q sin theta divided by P plus of Q cos theta. Okay, where theta is angle between these two vectors. Similarly, here my resultant vector is what? That is ER, and what are my constituent vectors? EA and EB, and I have taken alpha is angle between resultant vector and EB here. So comparing this equation, I can also write here as tan alpha is equal to what? EA into sin of theta whole divided by, yes, whole divided by, I write it as EB plus of EA into cos of theta. Okay, so here in place of P I have EB, in place of Q I have EA here. Okay, so this is the expression to find out the angle made by the resultant with respect to vector EB. Okay, so theta is angle between these two vectors EA and EB. Okay, so let me substitute the values here. What I will get? Tan alpha. Tan alpha is equal to what? So EA is equal to, we have got it as 3600 Newton per coulomb, and EB we had got it as 7200 Newtons per coulomb. Okay, so let me substitute the values here. EA is equal to what? That is 3600 into sine of 120 degrees. Okay, the angle between both vectors is what? 120 degree, divided by EB plus, that is EB is what? 7200 plus of EA into cos of 120 degree. EA is equal to what? 3600 into cos of 120 degrees. Let us simplify this and get the value of alpha here. Okay, so that is equal to 3600 into sine 120 degree, so that is equal to sine of 180 minus of 60 degree, that is equal to sine 60 degree. So that sine 60 degree I can write it as square root of 3 divided by 2. Okay, whole divided by, I will get this as 7200. Yes, cos 120 degree, it is minus of 1 by 2. Okay, so 3600 into minus of 1 by 2, this direct I will write it as minus of 1800. Okay, if I simplify this, I will get this tan alpha as 0.5774. Okay, so this is the value of tan alpha, and alpha will be equal to what? So that is equal to tan inverse of 0.5774. Using the log table again, I have to find the value of alpha. Okay, take your log book and again open natural tangents, because my trigonometric function is tan here. So that is page number 14 and 15. Okay, search for the value of 0.5774. It is actually 1 by root 3, is it not? Right? So check it out. So I have, look at the angle of 30 degree here. I have tan 30 degrees equal to 0.5774. I have the exact value of that. So from this I can find out alpha is equal to what? 30 degrees. Okay, so this is the magnitude of the resultant vector, that is 6235 Newton per coulomb. So this is the resultant vector of 6235 Newton per coulomb, and the alpha, the angle made by the resultant with respect to EB, okay, with respect to electric field B, that is equal to what? 30 degrees. Okay, so these are the solutions for a given problem. Okay.